So, A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab came out, and I was really excited to read it, but in February I was planning to read only diverse books, so I planned to read it on March 1st, and I was super excited. So March 1st is approaching, and I'm like, oh, let me go watch my book reviews, kind of get a refresher on what happened, so I can be fully prepared to read A Conjuring of Light. And I realized I never did my review on A Gathering of Shadows. So that's what we're doing today. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm really sorry that I forgot to do A Gathering of Shadows book review, but if you want to see my Darker Shade of Magic book review, I will link that down below. But this could be a little painful as I try to remember the book because, like I said, I came to my channel to get a refresher, and so now I don't have that. So now I'm just trying to refresh on my own. And I'm gonna think about some major things that I definitely remember, some major feels. And then hopefully I will further write a review if you really want to see. And I'll link it down below, and I'll probably write it on my Goodreads. But for now, I'm just gonna try to remember all that I can. Okay, so let's get into the spoilery section. Basically, what I remember is that it starts off with Lila, and I just love her relationship, and she's on this ship, and she finally gets to be a pirate, and she's finally free, and she's on this captain's ship named Alucard, and she's a badass bitch, and we're slowly discovering, like, Lila's got some powers. Like, my prediction is true. I really feel like she is an Antari. Like, I really feel like she is. And so basically she is, kind of thinking about Kel, but then still living her life, whatever, being a pirate. This is what she's always wanted, to be free, not be attached to anyone. And then she finds out about the Esentach. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but it's the Element Games, where all the different kingdoms in Red London come together and they compete, and it's kind of like a thing to make unity, and it's just like fun, and it really shows how powerful Kel is to Red London. Like, he's their source of magic. Like, they have an Antari, so like they're super powerful, so he's really important. And it definitely shows some of like the political standings, and I was just very interested because I didn't realize like Red London had different cities, but like it makes sense because it's like a whole different world, not just different Londons. I think in my first book I described it as parallel Londons, but it's kind of like parallel worlds, and they all come to Red London to compete. And so it was really interesting to see like the politics and the different countries, I don't know, and just how they work together. And basically, they pick like, 2 magicians from each town, or like there's a certain number, and I think it's more than 2 actually, and they have to compete for the Element Games. Then the winner gets, the honor and glory, for the next couple of years until the next Esentach. I think it's like every 4 years. Otherwise, in the first book we would have, or maybe it's every year, because this book only occurs a couple of months after where A Darker Shade of Magic left off. We get to see these countries compete in the Element Games, and basically Lila is competing, and so we get to see her magic develop, what happens when she gets back in Red London, and it's super awesome. And then there's some darker forces afoot that I won't spoil until we get to that section. So all in all, I don't remember how much stars I gave this book. I will double check on my Goodreads, and then I'll put it on the screen. But I remember I definitely liked it a lot better than A Darker Shade of Magic. I remember in that review I was like, I'm not sure how much I like it. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. But I freaking loved this second book, and I'm so excited to read A Conjuring of Light. And I think I'm going to upload this video on March 1st, and that's when I'm starting A Conjuring of Light, and then I'll do that review. So I'm just so excited for A Conjuring of Light because A Gathering of Shadows was amazing. It blew A Darker Shade of Magic out of the water. It was amazing. There was character building. You learn more about Lila, you learn more about Cal, you get more of Prince Rye, and then we get all these new characters and these new lands, and it was amazing. So like, get on it, read it. I'm checking on my phone to see how many stars I gave it. I gave it 5 because I loved it. So that is all for my non-spoilery section. Let's get into the spoilers as I frantically try to remember everything that I loved about this. Okay, so, oh my god, spoilery section. I'm trying to see my activity on this book because I read it in the summer. Just I loved this book. It was amazing. Let's talk about some characters. So, Alucard. I really like him, and I like the relationship that he has with Lila. You know, he's teaching her how to use her magic. We're discovering that she has all these amazing skills, and she can kind of call all the elements to herself. And he's just been really nice and kind towards her, and they kind of have this weird, like, love tension. But then it's, like, not really a thing. He's just kind of playing with her mind, and Lila's really not sure what she wants, and she's starting to build more relationships. You know, she doesn't really want to be connected to anyone, but slowly she is. You know, she comes to really love Alucard, like, as a friend, and she really loves Kel, and she cares about Prince Rai, and just, like, crap is going down, you know? And so basically we get back to Red London, and Alucard and Lila get there, and you find out that Alucard is, like, he's been banished, and basically you find out that Alucard and Rai are a thing. And I screamed. I was so happy. I'm like, gay love. It's so amazing. I love that Alucard and Prince Rai are together. But basically Alucard broke Prince Rai's heart, and Kel was so upset that he's been banished from the town. So he didn't really do anything that evil, you know. Of course he's a pirate, but he's a pirate for the king. So it's not really a pirate. It's not illegal for their country. But he's been banished because he broke, you know, Prince Rai's heart. And of course this is an issue because Prince Rai is gay, and he's supposed to be the new king, and of course they want him to have a queen and make an heir, you know, typical things. So I don't think his parents know. But we get a bigger look into Prince Rai's parents. They're kind of assholes, you know. Something is happening, a darkness, you know, is occurring, and basically they try to imprison Kel because Kel just wants to be free. Like, he's so tired of being their pillar of magic. You know, he does the typical thing where he goes to parties with Rai and makes his face seen, and Rai's just feeling really guilty and just like pained because, you know, he died and Kel brought him back to life, and now they're connected, and so it's really tough for them, and they can feel each other's pain and all that stuff. So Rai's just feeling guilt. He doesn't feel like he's strong enough to be the king. You know, he's gay, and his character just has so many facets that I just really love. Like, V. Schwab does an amazing job with characters, and it's so amazing. And then Kel and Lila to be together, of course. You know, I kind of thought of it in the first book, but there was really not a lot of romance in the first book, and we weren't sure, you know, where those harboring feelings were. But, you know, we definitely get a little bit of answers in this book when Lila sneaks into the games, and now Kel is in the games. Magic in this book was amazing. Like, basically seeing the Essen talk and the fighting and the way she described it, like, V. Schwab did a good job. I could visualize all the fighting, and I'm like, Kel and Lila are so awesome, and I love them, and just like the magic. It's definitely magic. So let's talk about a little bit of the evil. Holland is back. What the fuck? And I just feel so bad for Holland. Basically, when he went to Black London, the King of Black London was still lurking, and he awakens him, and they go back, you know, to White London. That's where they're from, right? White London, yes. And they revive it, and Kel basically makes a deal with the devil to save White London. So my roommate came home, and that was awkward. But we're gonna continue, and I'm gonna try not to be weird about it. Okay. I was talking about Holland, who is being controlled by the King of Black London, and I can't wait to see him when he's not controlled by someone. And I feel like he's actually a nice person because he's slowly rebuilding White London. You know, there's peace in the land, and basically he only has like issues internally because he's being controlled, and he doesn't want to like ruin, you know, where he lives, and he wants him to be as prosperous as Red London. Holland basically sells Kel out because he thinks Kel has nothing to fight for, and Kel doesn't appreciate what he has, which Kel doesn't. So we will see what happens in A Conjuring of Light, and it'll be scary and interesting, and I'm excited to read it. And I'm reading it with Maggie, and we're going to be tweeting about it and having a good time. So if you want to see that, follow me on Twitter. Shameless plug right here. But I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.